has been learned that the Indian government was handed over the responsibility of installing river pillars at borders with Nepal 12 years ago. Government spokesperson Gokul Baskota, however, has stated that Nepal has not signed such agreements with India. Minister Baskota instead claimed that the government would install the pillars itself and not assign the task to the southern neighbor. Good morning, I'm Amit Bakrel and these are the top stories this hour. Government and Survey Department come up with conflicting statements as the report reveals the Indian authority being handed over the responsibility of installing border pillars. Ruling Nepal Communist Party is still indecisive in naming a new speaker. Party leaders split over the name of Nembang and Tumba Hampe. A Pakistani court sentences former military ruler Pervez Musharraf to death in absentia for treason over his 2007 imposition of emergency rule. Military angrily objects the verdict. And Zolakil club taking on 3-star and APF up against Manang Musangdi in the matches under the A Division League slated for today. Let's begin with the national political updates. Amid growing concerns regarding the unresolved border dispute between Nepal and India, it has been understood that the Indian government was handed over the responsibility of installing river pillars at borders with Nepal 12 years back. The government of Nepal and the Indian government signed an agreement in which the Indian government was required to install pillars in the border regions separated by rivers. A joint technical committee led by Director General of the Survey Department of both the sides was assigned the task. The committee had the authority to determine the border points between Nepal and India based on the map drawn after the Sugoli Treaty and install pillars accordingly. In September 2007, a bilateral meeting decided that the southern neighbor would install pillars along the border separated by rivers and the disputed borderlands as well. Along with the agreement, the tenure committee also ended and the border disputes have yet to be addressed. Likewise, a joint task force formed 5 years back to resolve the issue has not been able to produce results either. Meanwhile, the Nepal government is compelled to wait for the Indian side to install pillars as per the faulty agreement signed 12 years back. Despite available evidences of such agreements, government spokesperson Gokul Baskota, however, has stated that Nepal has not signed such agreements with India. Last Thursday, Baskota claimed that the government would install the pillars itself and not assign the task to the southern neighbor. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has failed to show any enthusiasm for the same, citing it was technically complicated and expensive to install the pillars. The winter session of the Federal Parliament will begin after 3 days. However, the name of the speaker is yet to be confirmed. The leaders within the ruling Nepal Communist Party are seeking for the post of speaker. In fact, the conflict among the leaders is going on within the CPN-UML faction of the Nepal Communist Party. The post of the speaker is vacant since 2nd of October after Krishna Mahathir Mahara stepped down from the post following rape allegations. The ruling Nepal Communist Party has not confirmed the name of the speaker, though the winter session of the Federal Parliament is starting from 20th of December. Several leaders from the then CPN-UML faction are claiming for the post. A faction has proposed the name for former Speaker Subhas Nembang, citing the need of experienced and mature leadership for the post. Former Speaker Nembang was elected as the chairperson of the Constituent Assembly, twice as Speaker of the House of Representatives for 3 times. On the other hand, the faction within the party has started campaigning to appoint Deputy Speaker Sivamaya Tumba Hampe for the post of Speaker. A few leaders, led by Chairperson KP Sharma Oli faction, are in favor of Deputy Speaker Tumba Hampe for the post of Speaker. They met both the chairpersons and other leaders from the party to seek reasons why Deputy Speaker Tumba Hampe could not be the Speaker. They claim Tumba Hampe is equally competent and experienced enough to fulfill the role of the Speaker. They have argued that one individual should not be offered the same post time and again. After the division of power among the chairperson duo, the then CPN Mao Center has left its claim to the post of Speaker. However, leader Agni Sapkota is trying to convince co-chairperson Pushpakamal Dahal to retain the race for the post. It is yet to be seen what will happen in the ongoing tug of war within the then UML for the post of Speaker. Last week, Nepal Rashtra Bank directed banks and financial institutions to enroll in the Social Security Fund. However, bank employees are reluctant to enrolling in the program in fear of reduction in their current incentives. We have a report.
The government introduced the scheme last year, terming it as a landmark initiation in the country. However, the scheme could not attract the employees or the employers. Till now, out of the 900,000 employers of the organization sector, only 12,000 have enrolled in the fund. Only 133,000 employees of these organizations have been enlisted in the program. Despite the reluctance of the employers, the central bank has directed the concerned financial institutions a week ago for the enrollment in the fund. However, the bank employees have opposed the program, citing that the scheme would deduct their incentives that they are receiving currently. Similarly, they have argued that both the performer and the non-performer would receive equal service facility. According to the bank employees, they pay 36% tax from their salaries and inform that they would have to lose a good amount of money from their salary if they have to pay an additional 15% after being enrolled in the Social Security Fund. Moreover, they doubt of losing the deposited amount in the fund. However, the Office of the Social Security Fund has assured that it is ready to address the issues raised regarding the scheme. 6 banks have already joined the scheme. However, it is clear that the fund could not introduce any attractive schemes to incorporate all the employees and the employers in the program. Therefore, the fund should amend the policies to clear the doubtful provisions and impractical system.
In our Public Voice segment, we asked the residents of Sindhupalchok district about the pace of reconstruction of private and government buildings in their district, which was most affected in the 2015 earthquake. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
सरकारी भवनहरू हेर्ने भनेदेखि धमाधम सदरमुकाम केन्द्रित भएर भवन त बनेका छन् तर स्थानीय तहमा गएका विषयगत कार्यालयहरूको लागि समस्या उति नै छ।
निजी आवास भन्दा विद्यालयको चाहिँ भवन अलि बढी बनेका छन्।
83.92% लाभग्राहीहरूले चाहिँ तेस्रो किस्ता लगेर आफ्नो निजी आवास सम्पन्नतर्फ चाहिँ उन्मुख भइसक्नु भएको छ।
विद्यालयहरूमा पनि राम्रो बजेटिङहरू भएको छ, त्यो अनुसार संरचना बनेको छ। तर निजीमा चाहिँ सोचे जस्तो भएको छैन, किनभने कतिपयले चाहिँ अब त्यो 3 लाख पैसा पर्याप्त नभएर नि हुन सक्छ।
धार्मिक तथा पुरातात्विक सम्पदाहरूको पुनर्निर्माण सिन्धुपाल्चोक जिल्लामा नगर्ने छ र स्वास्थ्य संस्थासँग सम्बन्धित संरचनाको पुनर्निर्माण पनि त्यति सन्तोषजनक छैन।
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what is the reason behind bank officials' reluctance on enrolling for the Social Security Fund? And options are A, fear of facilities being cut out, B, lack of trust in the fund, and C, impractical provision. The voting for the question is on. Type any WS, select to option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Now the sports update.
Sports news.
2 heavyweight matches are slated under the A Division League football tournament today. Free Star Club is taking on Tolakate Youth Club, while Manam Musanthi is up against APF in the matches scheduled for this afternoon at noon and 2:30 p.m. respectively. Free Star had ended its journey in the previous edition by ranking 3rd in the league table. The team has seen lots of transformation this time around, as players like Ranjit Thimal and Ranjan Vista, among others, are not in the team. Meanwhile, Dolakil has given continuity to its regular playing set players. Like us defending champions, Manang Mersangdi Club is the highest 8-time winner in the A Division League. It's time now for our special segment, Laugh Out Loud.
A victory rally organized by the National Sports Council this Friday for the medal winners in the 13th South Asian Games was greatly hampered by the rain and cold. The rain pushed the scheduled event by 2 hours, while the office bearers and the athletes had to bear the brunt of the gloomy day. The Sports Council had released Friday's schedule for the victory rally last Wednesday itself. However, dignitaries from the Sports Council and Nepal Olympic Committee failed to show up at the scheduled time of 11 a.m. to begin the rally due to damp weather. The players, who took shelter around the Dashrath Stadium, were made to wait for some 2 hours. The top office bearers did arrive around 1 p.m. and after a brief felicitation of the players and coaches, the rally began amidst the rain. The victory rally eventually was cut short due to the cold and rain around. Many of the 51 gold medalists, 60 silver medalists, and 95 bronze medalists failed to be a part of the show due to adverse weather. Some players from team events such as football and basketball remained absent, showing their displeasure at the government's decision to felicitate them with lesser cash prizes. It is always difficult to predict weather, but in the modern world of internet and advanced technology, just a little check on weather forecast system would have prevented the sports authority from transforming a noble gesture and a joyous occasion into a farce. This is Sajda Lamishane for Kantipur News Desk.
And that's all for this hour. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Have a good day.